can you remind us how many years have you been improvising? 2 or more years?
Probably 3.
And you've been playing the organ for 7 years, right?
Yes.
So we can quite safely say that you are a 7th grader when it comes to playing the repertoire, and only the 3rd grader when it comes to improvising, right? So that's normal if you feel more insecure when you are improvising or more nervous because you haven't spent that much time while playing your own creations. And it's normal to prepare, diligently music that you improvise almost to the point of memorization. Sometimes we all did that at the beginning, and it's the initial level. And after that, you kind of want to break free and create on the spot. But that's the next level, I think. Right, Osha and John?
Yes, I think so.
I would say that when I play the improvisations at home, I would say I'm less nervous playing them than pieces because I feel in control and it's my own creation, so it's familiar to me. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with my improvisation on A Mighty Fortress Is Our God because the one part I played the chorale theme with double pedals, so the melody, the pedals with both feet playing parallel octaves, and I had that mastered very well on organs with radiating concave pedal boards, so I was very comfortable with that. But this is the first organ I've ever played with a flat straight or flat parallel pedals.
Yeah.
And particularly on the edges of the pedal board, the spacing between the pedals was so much bigger than I'm used to. And I felt like I played poorly with my pedal work, but that's, I think, partly because of the limited preparation.
I think you did a great job. It's a given that you rehearse for 1 day, and so after such a long day, you're already in Ireland.
Because normally people who come from abroad to play at St. John's, they come on maybe Thursday evening and spend the whole Friday and Saturday rehearsing. So maybe they would get 4 rehearsals total, 2-3 hours each, that would be plenty. But for you, it would be more, it was like 4 hours total. Right? And considering that you are still learning, you have played many organs and only prepared for this recital in your mind, right? While having the specification and the stop layout. I think you did better than could be expected, right, Osha?
Yes, and yesterday during recital I thought that John is sort of living example of that really those things that we are talking so often on our podcast that we actually work if you will apply them, like preparation, mental preparation. When you have no access to a real instrument, for example, when you travel. As John told us, remember yesterday that he practiced mentally in the airport while waiting for plane from Copenhagen to go to Vilnius. And it's just amazing.
And it's an experience that helped me was in it was early this year, January 2018, a very good friend of mine who has other friends in the organist world, gave me a wonderful opportunity to come and try out the organ at the Melbourne Town Hall, which is one of the largest pipe organs in Australia. 4 manuals and I think nearly 130 stops, and also the St Paul's Cathedral in Melbourne, a beautiful organ there, 4 manuals and about 50 or 60 stops, and there was nobody else at the Melbourne Town Hall, just me and my friend, and I played through quite a few pieces that I played in my recital, and afterwards my friend said to me, "I'm surprised how well you picked such good stop selection and it sounded so great and balanced, even though you've never played this instrument before." And I told him that I'd downloaded the stop list off the internet and spent quite a few hours at home in the kitchen studying the stop list and thinking, what stops should I use to get different sounds? And that experience in January prepared me for this and helped me to go to a more professional level. That, as you saw, I had 2 or 3 different stop options suggested for the organ.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell our listeners about what I showed you.
John we had prepared a list of registration changes on separate sheet of paper, like 5 sheets of paper with full stop lists and full stop combinations written out. And I just had to check, double check if they work. And to my amazement, they almost all worked without any additional adaptation, with some exceptions, I added some spices here and there. But Oshra didn't know that until this morning, right, Oshra?
Yes.
She thought that John himself did all that. No.
I thought that you did all that.
I did the registration for him.
To realize that John did all himself.
So what I did, I spent many hours in the evenings. I think I watched nearly all of the videos that Vidas has put online, and I watched what manual he was playing on the St. John's organ, and I had the stop list in front of me, and I tried to guess what stops he pulled out.
That's nice.
And some of them, when you did the organ demonstration to the German tourists, you were telling them, I'm going to play flutes. And so I'd look at the stop list and go, what flutes are on this manual? And I tried to guess which ones he'd used, and I thought, I like how this sounds, or maybe I'll try something different. And then that was how I worked out my stop list.
You did excellent detective work, right? Excellent. So your research actually paid out, and your hard work of mental preparation and doing everything in advance made your rehearsals much more efficient.
Yes. I knew that there would be so little time to practice. I remember one of the earlier recitals I played at my hometown of Victor Harbour. I just turned up at the church with no preparation, and I spent maybe 4 hours just going through registrations. And I was so exhausted that when it came to play the recital in the evening, it was not good at all. And that was a very valuable lesson I learned, that if I spend too long rehearsing in the morning before I play in the evening, I'm mentally exhausted and couldn't concentrate. So I knew that I had to have most of the work of the registrations done so that I could just play the pieces and get used to the organ and then take some time to relax.
Right. Oshra, how do you usually prepare for instruments like that in advance or on the spot?
Actually, I like to do things in advance as much as possible. I also will select some registration, various registration possibilities, and then I try them out and see what works best. Then you maybe have to adjust some things, but you can have most of it ready already.
That's life-saving lesson, right?
Yes.
That John learned the hard way.
Yes.
Excellent. What was the most frustrating thing yesterday for you when you played or when you were preparing?
I was disappointed that I couldn't adjust better to the pedal board. I don't know why. It always irritates me more than anything when I make mistakes in the pedal. I always like to try and play the pedals well, and I shouldn't focus on the negative, just focus on the positive. The pedal solo for the Bach Prelude in G major was good. I was very, very happy that went well because it was in the middle of the pedal board.
Yeah.
But some of the notes on the edges of the pedal board, the low C, felt like I was putting my foot off the edges of the pedals and onto the timber that supports the pedal board. It felt like a B natural below the C.
It's wider than radiating layout.